let's just get into it. Right. What's the most common thing we hear in forex? Right. Um, Sell high. Right. Why is that? It's still good, my man. What's going on? Sell high. Buy low. Everybody has heard it. If there's one thing any trader has heard, is sell high, buy low. What does this mean? Practically, you might have a situation where there is an uptrend. The market takes a pause, as it usually does, right? It continues up on its uptrend. So it does something like that, right? But the higher it goes, the bigger the pauses. So maybe the next pause is back here, right? And it's not always going to do this. I mean, this is like an ideal situation, right? And once it does that, this comes into effect. How? We created a new low. This was our previous high. This is our previous low. This is our new high. Okay? And what do? Because we are back at our previous low, we're gonna buy. Okay? This could be your low, this could be your support, whatever you call it. This could be take your time for me to pray. So I'm gonna make this very quick. Back at support, my bad. Back at support, back at low, whatever it is, back at demand, supply, whatever it is you want to call it. Okay, what does the market usually do? It favors most, right? It even creates a new high. But before it does that, when it gets here, I'll tell you what happens. You got a bunch of us, and by us I mean retail traders, right? First of all, some of us bought because the market came back here, and we have our stop losses here. True or false? Right? This is a retest, this is a double bottom, whatever it is you want to call it. It came back to this point, so I must buy. And because you bought, it's going in your favor, right? But obviously it's going to have some sort of resistance here. Why? Because this is a previous high. Okay? But you're not worried. You've already made profit. If you're smart, maybe you've moved your stop loss, things like those. Okay? Now what happens? Now there's a bunch of us. Like I said, there's going to be a bit of resistance there. So some people might interpret that resistance as an opportunity to sell. Why? Because we are back at resistance. We're back at our previous high. Okay? So now this is our opportunity to sell. Where do we have our stop losses? This is where we have our stop losses. Okay? Also paint this red. That's where we have our stop losses. Okay? But what happens they decimate our stop loss. Right? Once they do that, everybody now is convinced that he's going up because he broke the previous high. And just like before, if you broke the previous high, then we must still be in a uptrend. But like I said here, the market takes breaks, right? So he comes and maybe he retests. Now you got a bunch of us with our stop losses here, because now we're looking at a downtrend. But what does he do? You don't play with this man. You don't play with the big boy. He decimates it. He also decimates this one. Alright? Now he's shown his true colors. He's really trying to go down. Okay? Because the distance between this high and this high is not really that strong. So he's lost a lot of momentum. And how do we know he's lost most of his momentum? Because he's going to make a new lower low. Okay, let me just try to label this right quick. So we have our high, okay, and then we have our higher high, right? We have our low. Now we're just printing out our lower low. Okay, what did he do? He took all, because this is how he makes his money. He took all these stop losses, the top, in the middle, everywhere, in the bottom, wherever there was a stop loss, he just decimated them. Okay, so how do we get in? How do we treat this? Okay, we simply be patient. We become patient. If we see this structure, then we know that we're on the right track. Okay, we first saw the first high, and then we saw him coming back to this low. Okay, and what did he do? He made a new higher high, because there was a breakout right here. He made a new higher high. Right after that, he decimated all these stop losses to the downside, printed out a lower low. Now again, I asked the question, how do we get in? I'm gonna show you. We simply wait for him to go to the upside, right? And you want him to take his time. So you want to be as patient as he is, okay? You want him to take his time. So you're patiently waiting for him. To get to a point where you want him. Now you're setting traps for him, okay? And I'm going to show you where you're going to set that trap. This is where you set that trap. Right here. Right at this point. Whatever you want to call it. A sell limit, whatever it is that you want to call it. This is where you sell. Hard. Okay? And this is a straightforward trade. You have your stop loss right above this, what looks like a head. And a lot of people might say this is a head and shoulders. It's not a head and shoulders. They look very similar, but this is This is the official stop loss. This is where you should place your stop loss. Okay. This is your stop loss. Like I said, this is where you're gonna sell. So we're gonna make this 3.
That's good.
And where do you get out? Likewise, I'm gonna show you. I got you. Right here. This is your first stop loss, okay? This is your first stop loss. We'll make this yellow. If you have a first stop loss, you're gonna need a second one. Where's your second stop loss? Right here. Right at this low. Lower low. And we're gonna say that's orange. Signify that getting out. I'm gonna say it one more time. You see this high, and then you see a low, and then you see a break of that high into a higher high. Are you following me? You see a high and then a low, and you see a break of that high to make it a previous high into a higher high. Once you see a higher high, you wait just a bit longer for a new lower low. So you wait for him to surpass this low to the downside, right, to give us a new lower low, right? And as he strolls his way to the top, trapping other traders, confusing other traders, you're not in for the ride. You're just patiently waiting for him to come and collect his orders. There's a lot of activity right here. This is a hard zone, okay? I'm gonna make this straight. This is a very hard zone. This zone right here.
That's good.
If you want to talk about zones, this is a very important zone, and most of the trades you're gonna have here are exactly like this. You're gonna go in here, and the market is gonna return exactly where you get it. Some of those snipers. Let's take a look at some examples. We're not gonna have a lot. I saw a very good one on, yes, the Euro USD, the 4 hour. Remember what I said? You have a high, right? Then you have a low. and you see a break of that previous high to give us a new higher high, right? Once you see that, you just patiently wait for him to make a new lower low. So once he breaks this lower low, you now start getting excited. You can start getting very excited. You can start getting ready to decimate him. I was looking for the right word. So what does he do? He confuses, like I said, he confuses a lot of traders. He's going up, he's going down. He's impulsively going up and then down. And then eventually he comes to this previous high. This bad boy right here. Look at this entry. This is exactly what I was typing out here. Do you see it? A high, low, higher high, high liquid zone. Okay? You wait for him to eventually make his way up. And then he's going to give you your first profits here. And your second profit here. Right here. This is exactly what's happening on this trade. So our first low already paid us. He's taking that pause we keep talking about. And we're just gonna wait for him to come to this low. Like I said, this is a very hot zone. This is our hot zone. Right here, I don't know what's going on with this circle, but this is our hot zone. This is exactly what I've been explaining. And it's all over the chart. Listen to me. It's all over the chart. You want to take a look at the 1 hour? A completely different trade. We have our high, right? Then low. After we have that low, we have a new higher high. We have a break of that higher high. Right here. It broke, came back, decimated our previous low, made a new lower low, and now he's strolling back to come collect whatever it is that he left at this area, at this hot zone. So you want an entry, you just look at your left shoulder. Let's go back to our drawing right here. You just look at your left shoulder. That's where you're gonna have your entry. It's a very simple. You know when to get in, you know when to get out, you know where your stop loss is gonna be. Okay, once your stop loss is hit, the trade has failed, you're out. But you're risking very little as to compared to what you stand to gain. And that's what you want to trade. You want to risk very little for a lot to gain. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you subscribe. Check out my page. I'm on Facebook. Like I say, just send me a friend request. I'm gonna make sure I accept that. I take questions. I'm here to help you out. Make sure you follow me on TikTok, and if there's any other socials, I'll make sure that I plug them on here. This is Dundee. I'm out.